Why, hello everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd Podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I'm your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on into these topics, shall we? Starting with our first game news topic of the day. And our first game news topic is former God of War studio head urges publishers to diversify beyond AAA games. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article here from Game Rant. So forgive me if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly, but Megan Morgan Juino, the former Santa Monica studio co-head, warns that over-reliance on big-budget AAA titles may worsen industry instability, urging publishers to explore AA and single-A projects. Megan highlights that the success of lower budget hits like Split Fiction and stresses the innovation and experimentation can yield strong returns without massive financial risk. With layoffs, closures, and blooming budgets, for example, GTA's rumored $1 billion budget, Megan calls for a more balanced approach to game development to ensure long term sustainability. So I think it's interesting that she cited Split Fiction because Split Fiction is a AAA game. Now, mind you, it's a AAA game with not a crazy wild budget, so I think that's kind of where the benefit of that is stated for this. But also, she needs to realize that there's other games out there that don't have a massive budget. For example, Ghost of Yote that just came out, which I just did a review of. If you guys are interested, it's on the channel. But the fact that that was about a $60 million budget, give or take. Mind you, we don't have the exact numbers until games are released. But let's just say that it is $60 million, and that's very successful. I think that's a pretty modest sized budget for a AAA game. Now let's see if we have the Split Fictions budget. You know, it's funny, guys. Sometimes I just come up with these thoughts on the top. I don't even think about them beforehand. So that's why I come up with this on the top of my head. Let's see. Split Fiction budget is reportedly around $60 million. Let's go ahead so you guys can see here. Now, mind you, this is not exact numbers. This is their AI overview. I'm sure we can dive deeper, but let's just call it from that general information, $60 million budget. So this and Ghost of Yote had the same budget. I just want to double check that. Ghost of Yote budget. Let's see if it says here. Yep, same. So Ghost of Yote and Split Fiction had the same around $60 million budget, and they're both AAA titles. So I'm not sure exactly what she means when she says focus on AA and single A games when when the example she gave is a AAA game. I just think that studios, what they need to do is calm down and stop trying to overdo it. Ghost of Yote is a great example of a decent, great game that looks great and played great. Split Fiction, another decent, great game that looked great, that played great, and was very, very entertaining. And both games so far have been successful, especially Split Fiction. So them having a quote unquote low budget of $60 million, not necessarily a low budget. That's a really good, solid budget for a movie, or sorry, for a video game. And this is what they need to continue to do in other projects and other studios, instead of going stupidly crazy above and beyond, making $250 million games, $1 billion games in the Grand Theft Auto. But however, Grand Theft Auto probably worth it, as they've been milking Grand Theft Auto 5 since the PlayStation 3. So anyways, but that being said, guys, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree that studios should be focusing on AA single A games? And what do you think she meant by her example of Split Fiction? Do you think she assumed that the Split Fiction was a AA or single A game and didn't realize it was AAA? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Alright, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is regarding Arc Raiders hits 190k players in server slam, setting a strong stage for the debut to come. Let's go ahead and check this out here. It looks like, hold on, do we got an image here? I guess not. Probably have the wrong article up. Anyways, if you guys are interested, just take a look at this. Arc Raiders peaked at 189,668 concurrent players on Steam during its open server slam, making it the most played extraction shooter ever on the platform. The playtest featured a Dam Battlegrounds map and allowed players to explore progression, crafting, quest systems while helping Embark Studios prepare for the launch stability. With strong beta turnout and exclusive cosmetic rewards, sorry about that, guys, Arc Raiders is poised for a high impact release on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X on October 30th, 2025. So, guys, what do you guys think about this? Do you think that this is going to be a game that you guys are interested in playing? I'm not a big fan of, looter shooters or whatever they called this one. What is it? Extraction shooters. So I'm not really big on those games, and this game doesn't seem one to interest me. But I do find it interesting that a lot of players are interested in it, seeing how the server ended up doing. So I might have to take a look at it when I get the opportunity. But I'm just curious to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for the game? Is it a game I should look out for? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is regarding a rumor. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Mind you, everything in the article, take with a grain of salt. Anyways, Resident Evil 0 Remake targets a 2028 release with John McLaren in the lead role. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So, according to this article, following Resident Evil Code Veronica in 2027, Capcom plans to release a remake of Resident Evil 0 in 2028 under the codename Project Chamber. John McLaren, the Guardians of the Galaxy game actor, is confirmed to be providing performance capture for the remake, likely playing the protagonist, likely portraying Billy Cohen. The remake will reportedly introduce exclusive scenes such as a deeper role for the train conductor, while Capcom gears up for Resident Evil Requiem in 2026 to mark its series' 30th anniversary. So, guys, what do you guys think of this? I have been diving into Resident Evil because my brothers have been all over it with Resident Evil Biohazard, Village. Now we've got Resident Evil 4 and 2, and we've been playing them ass backwards, but we're playing them nonetheless. So I'd be very interested in taking out a look at Code Veronica in possibly 2027 and a Resident Evil 0 in 2028, especially since we're going to hopefully be getting releases yearly with Resident Evil Requiem coming out later next year or early next year. So hopefully we'll follow up with 2027 and 2028, leading into whatever other Resident Evil movie is going to be coming out in 2029 if they end up coming out with one. But I'm very excited to see what this ends up coming out to, because I was too young when Resident Evil came out, so I was too stupid to understand the gameplay and really understand where to go and what to do, and I was dumb and couldn't read. I mean, as you can see, I can barely read as it is. So when it comes to playing those games, I kind of just didn't grab my interest because I didn't know what I was doing. But now as an adult, I know what's going on. I know how the gameplay works. So I'm very interested in checking out games I didn't get to play before. And the fact that I get to play them in a remake manner with the Resident Evil franchise is really awesome. And I'll probably have to end up doing it again with the Silent Hill franchise once we get the Silent Hill 1 remake, if they're working on it. All right, guys, that being said, let me know what you guys thought of that in the comments down below. Are you interested in a Resident Evil 0 remake coming out in 2028? All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is regarding PlayStation and Xbox quietly embracing the generative AI amid industry debates. Let's go ahead and take a look here at this article from GameRat. It looks like PlayStation's new studio, Dark Outlaw Games, is hiring a concept artist skilled with generative AI, while Xbox is reportedly integrating AI tools in Halo development workflows. Now, mind you, I want you to take that one with a grain of salt, because there was other articles that came out later after this one that kind of stated that they are not going to be using AI for Halo. They kind of came out with those comments, but mind you, that was rumors, and we're not guaranteed that they're not using any AI for the game, but we'll have to wait and see when more details are revealed. Anyways, while some developers praise AI's efficiency, major publishers like Nintendo and EA remain cautious, citing fan backlash and concerns over creative quality. While one in five Steam games now use generative AI, the technology The technology's influence is growing, rising questions about its long-term impact on AAA game development and players' trust. So I think, how do I say this? It is oh man, it's tough to talk about AI nowadays because a lot of people are terrified and scared of it for them taking their jobs. And while that will be the case, some jobs will be taken. If you're a person that's set in your ways and you're not willing to learn, then yeah, you're going to be greatly affected by AI. But if you take it for what it is and try to learn it and incorporate it in your everyday work environment and how you do your current work, it will possibly benefit you in the long haul because AI is the way of the future, and that's what's going to happen, whether we like it or not. Unless a law passes and completely bans AI, then AI will be something that everyone is going to be utilizing in the future. So it's better to get on the bandwagon and find ways to implement them into what you're developing and what you're working on and learn how it works and how it functions because it is going to be the way of the future if we continue down this path. That being said, I think companies are right to be cautious about implementing them because they need to implement AI in the right way. They need to use AI in the ways where it benefits their workers so they can get products out quicker rather than benefiting the company. Because that's the big problem. The big problem is most people are using AI to benefit the company and it costs people their jobs and it costs people issues. Whereas if you go about it where the AI is going to benefit the worker, help them with their workload, and possibly move them along in their career, if people see it that way, it might be more beneficial for the company. But we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. I think PlayStation and Xbox are eventually going to incorporate them pretty on a high level going into the next generation and the generation following it. So we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening there in the long haul. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys afraid of AI? Are you guys implementing it into your workflows? Are you learning how it works? And is it something that you guys hope goes away, or are you hoping it develops even further? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, that being said, let's move over to our last game news topic of the day. And our last game news topic of the day is regarding a violent video game tax is getting closer to realization. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article here from Game Rant as well. It looks like Mexico's chambers of the deputies approved a 8% tax on violent and adult rated video games as part of its 2026 economic package, citing public health concerns. The Treasury Department claims violent games contribute to aggression and psychological issues, though no specific studies were cited to support this measure. The proposal now moves to the Senate with questions remaining about its impact on digital sales, subscriptions, and microtransactions. A final decision is expected by November 15th. So, guys, I think this sets a horrible precedent for the future of video games because if one country is able to tax it, you better believe other countries will do the same thing. So if this passes through in the Mexico Senate and in the Mexico country, you best believe other smaller countries will pass. Now, I don't think this will pass in the U.S. Only because U.S. there you have issues with the First Amendment and things like that when it comes to freedom of speech and freedom of whatever the fuck other freedoms we got. You already know what I'm saying. But this is quite interesting. But as far as video games citing violence in Mexico, I mean, you got the cartel, you have gangs, you have a whole bunch of other things citing violence over there. I don't think video games is their big concern. And if this is the case for video games, who's to stop them from doing movies next? Who's to stop them from doing anime after that? Who's to stop them from doing anything else that regards adult content or anything that is rated R or above PG-13 ratings or rated T for teen as far as video games are concerned? So this is just setting a horrible precedent for entertainment in general in Mexico and possibly other countries that may follow suit. So hopefully this doesn't go through, but I do think it's something that we need to keep an eye on and just watch out for in the future because this is going to be very, very bad for gamers. So if you're in Mexico and you love games like Mortal Kombat, you're looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6, and you're looking forward to any other rated M for mature video games, you better talk to your political figures or reach out to them and tell them you do not want this going through. And I do think it's funny that they want the date to be November 15th before the holiday season when some major games are going to be released. and before Grand Theft Auto is going to be released. I think that's where they're trying to get their 8% tax to get that boost in their pocket. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this tax. Do you agree with Mexico on this possibly being helpful for public health and concerns, or do you think they're just full of shit and they want money? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Excuse me, guys. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next. Oh, sorry. No, that does it for our video games news topic of the day, guys. We're going to go ahead and move over to our movie news topics. And our first movie news topic of the day is regarding the past weekend box office. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It looks like Black Phone 2 came in at $26.5 million. Let me refresh this page because sometimes they give you the updated numbers over time. Nope, it looks like those are the numbers. So these aren't the actuals. The actuals will probably come in later today or tomorrow, but this is what we got the estimates, and they're always usually pretty close. Anyways, Black Phone 2 is sitting at $26.5 million at number one. Number two, Tron Ares comes out at $11.1 million with a 66.5% drop from its weekend one, which is not looking good because it didn't make a lot of money its first weekend. Good Fortune comes in at $6.2 million. I didn't have a chance to check a look at this movie. I'll probably check it out tonight if I get the opportunity. One Battle After Another, sitting at number 4 with $4 million. The Roofman's at number 5 with $3.7 million, dropping to at a 54%, which is pretty normal. Looks like One Battle After Another is hanging in there with another 41% drop. Truth and Treason comes in at number 6 with $2.7 million. Gabby's Dollhouse hangs in there at the top 10 with $1.6 million at number 7. Number 8, The Conjuring: The Last Rites with another $1.5 million. At number 9, After the Hunt with $1.5 million. And at number 10, with Soul on Fire with $1.3 million. And we don't know which one it's going to be number 10, whether it's Demon Souls or Soul on Fire, because Demon Souls look to about made the same with another $1.3 million. But let me know what stands out to you guys the most. I think Black Phone did pretty successful with this box office. Tron Ares looks like it's struggling to make its money back. It's probably going to end up being a loser for Disney. We're going to have to see how it does in other markets after it's been released for a while. But one thing that is very interesting, and I missed last weekend because I forgot the movie was coming out, and it did so horribly at the box office that it wasn't even in the top 10. And that movie would be Kiss of the Spider with Jennifer Lopez. Last weekend, since I missed it, it made $890,000, and for the whole 3-day weekend, it made $1 million. And then now it dropped 79%, which is a crazy, crazy drop for a movie. And this movie just did horribly. Now, I don't know why I thought this was a direct-to-streaming movie for like Netflix or something, but I don't know. Maybe it was a wide release film. It looks like it was developed by, was it Lionsgate? Hold on, Kiss of the Spider Woman. Yeah, it was by Lionsgate. So I don't know why I thought it was streaming. I just assumed that, but man, what a horrible box office run for J-Lo. That sucks for that studio and for that movie. But let me know what you guys thought of the weekend box office. Did anything stand out to you? And which movie did you guys go see this weekend? Let me know what you think. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic of the day is regarding Bette Midler says she's read the Hocus Pocus 3 script and it's brilliant. I got very excited, she says. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from Variety. Looks like Bette Midler revealed she's read the early draft of Hocus Pocus 3 and called much of it brilliant while producers work through the pre-production logistics. Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Nahimi, I'm butchering her name, my apologies, are all expected to reprise their roles as the Sanderson sisters, continuing the franchise's legacy. Following Hocus Pocus 2's record-breaking Disney Plus debut in 2022, the third installment is moving forward with fans' anticipation and studio backing. My question is this going to be a Disney Plus debut again, or are they going to actually put it in theaters? Because I think they regretted putting Hocus Pocus 2 at Disney Plus because they probably could have made quite a bit of money off this movie, because not only did you have nostalgia, but you had these three wonderful ladies returning to reprise their awesome roles. I love Bette Midler as this character, and I love every musical number she does, so hopefully we get another awesome musical number in this next movie. And I would really am curious as to how they're going to return to life again after what happened in part two. So very interesting to see what's going to happen with this movie, and I'm excited to see Hocus Pocus 3. I think it's an awesome franchise, and hopefully we get more content from them. I just love seeing these ladies work together. Hopefully we get a little bit less of the kids from the last one, because I didn't really enjoy them all that much. Everything with the ladies was great though. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for another Hocus Pocus film? All right, guys. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic is regarding Kevin Lima. Lima, excuse me. Kevin Lima reflects on the decline of 2D animation and the lost art of storytelling. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from Collider. Director Kevin Lima, excuse me, guys, I got an itchy nose for some reason. Anyways, you think I'm doing something fun, but I'm not. God, I'm so dumb. Anyways, director Kevin Lima, lam, director Kevin Lima laments the sideline of traditional hand-drawn animation, praising its imperfections and emotional depth compared to modern CG films. Lima argues that the contemporary animated movies often over-explain themes, leaving little room for audience interpretation, unlike the more participatory storytelling in early decades. Amid growing concerns over AI's impact on artists, Lima urges studios like Disney to revisit 2D animation and prioritize compelling stories over technological spectacle. So I'm interested. I mean, it's interesting that he brought this up because he's saying that the studios no longer do 2D animation, and that is very much incorrect. And the reason that is very much incorrect is because studios do a mix of 2D and 3D. A good example would be some of the SpongeBob movies were a mix of 2D and 3D. And the most recent example would be Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which had traditional 2D drawn animation and mix of 3D. So it does a little bit of a hybrid. However, I think the last 2D movie that came out, actual 2D movie, was a Winnie the Pooh movie back in 2011, or maybe a SpongeBob movie. I can't recall exactly. But it has been a while since we had a traditional just 2D drawn animated movie, but we do still get our awesome 2D animated movies, just not from Disney. We get them from animes, we get them from, like Nickelodeon movies. Jesus, what is up with my nose today? I gotta go wash my nose. Anyways, guys, but I think it's interesting that he would say this. And honestly, I think he's incorrect because a lot of the stories being told with these 2D anime, we got Inside Out with 3D animation, which has a very compelling story. Awesome. We have the Toy Story movies, which is another phenomenal franchise. We had a movie that I think was underrated that came out a while ago with Elemental from Pixar as well, who had a phenomenal love story and also an immigration story incorporated into it, and it had a lot to say. And I think it was a phenomenal movie. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Would you guys like the return of 2D animation? And do you think it has stuck around like I do with Demon Slayer coming out with a mix of 2D and 3D animation? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic of the day is regarding Simu Liu confirms Sleeping Dog movie script is complete and pushes the studios, and pushes for studio support. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Looks like Simu Liu posted with his dog and posted Sleeping Dog script. Now, mind you, I don't want you to get Sleeping Dog mixed up with the Kurt Russell movie Sleeping Dog. This is actually the video game adaptation from Sleeping Dog the game. But Simu Liu reveals that the first draft of Sleeping Dog movie script is done, marking progress on the project since its stall back in 2017 when it was announced. The Shang-Chi actor is set to play lead character Wei Shen and is working with Story Kitchen to bring the beloved video game adaptation to life. I think Story Kitchen might be the production company. I'm not exactly sure. While Square Enix is reportedly supportive, Liu noted that the studio has yet to fully grasp the IP's value, but he remains optimistic about moving the project forward. So I think the studio knows how valuable their game is, but I don't think they know how valuable it would be as a movie adaptation. I don't think that's something that this studio really understands all that much. I think they're trying to see what Sony does with their IP, what Xbox does with its IP, and it's been a little bit of a mixed bag when it comes to that, but especially Xbox wise. But it looks like Sony's really pushing forward with their studio productions, and it looks like some studios like Square Enix are following suit with something like Sleeping Dog. I think a script like this and a movie like this could be really good, and I think Simu Liu's an underrated actor. I feel like the only thing I've seen him in is Shang-Chi and just a bunch of B flicks after that, playing the typical bad guy. I would really like to see him do a little more leading roles. I felt like we should have had a Shang-Chi 2 by now, but that's also other MCU issues going on. But I think he'd be great in this lead role, and I think this movie would turn out very phenomenal. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Would you guys be interested in seeing a Sleeping Dog movie, and are you excited to see Simu Liu portray the main character? All right, guys. Let's go ahead and move over to our last movie news topic of the day. And our last movie news topic of the day is regarding Mark Ruffalo still wants a solo Hulk movie, but rights issues persist. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article from IGN. The Marvel actor expressed continued interest in a solo Hulk film, though acknowledged the universal ownership of the character. Movie rights complicates development. If you guys don't know the issue with Hulk and his legal complications, while Marvel Disney can make a Hulk film, they can't publish it themselves. Universal has the publishing rights for the movie. So basically, if Marvel Disney makes a Hulk film, then in order for it to be distributed worldwide, Universal needs to get involved and needs to have their money also, incorporated into that. And Disney don't want to share that money with them. I do think it's interesting that they got a deal with Spider-Man, but not Universal. Maybe they're betting heads over there at Universal. It's hard to say. Maybe they want creative input. Who knows what's going on in the back end conversations. But, that's just what's going on with that character, just so you guys know. Anyways, Ruffalo confirms that Marvel has explored solo ideas, but noted the challenges of making a fresh Hulk story that resonates with audiences after multiple past iterations. Hold on, guys. Nope. Nope. Sorry. I was looking for something. It wasn't there. Why did I bring it up? Anyways, I'm done. With multiple Hulks now in the MCU, including Scar and Red Hulk, fans hope for a World War Hulk adaptation, but no official plans have been announced. Ruffalo will next appear in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. So, we did get a Hulk sequel. It was just called Captain America: Brand New Day or Brave New World or whatever the fuck it's called. I keep New Order. I always forget what that one's called. That was essentially a Hulk sequel. They continued the storyline of Hulk from the Hulk movie, and that was our Hulk sequel. So I'm very, very surprised we didn't get Mark Ruffalo in that movie. I think that's where he would have benefited the most, and assisting in Captain America taking down Red Hulk while Captain America deals with not Hydra. What is it called? The Serpent Society or whatever other people that they're dealing with. No, what's his name? The leader. There you go. So it could have been more. It could have been a lot better movie, and it could have been a Hulk sequel, with Hulk being in there and working on that. But the Hulk we have now, I don't think anyone that is an MCU fan is interested in this Hulk right now. And we all want mad, angry Hulk that you cannot control, the monster. We love that version of the Hulk. This smart Hulk or this Hawaiian wearing shirt Hulk or this father Hulk for Scar. No one's interested in that, at least no one that I know of. If you are interested, please let me know. I'd be very curious as to why you are. But we want the return of Hulk, and hopefully Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars really brings back the mean, gritty Hulk that we all deserve to see. And they have a little bit of a storyline focusing around the Hulk. Now, the first Infinity War, I would say, was it was a mixed bag of characters. It was more Robert Downey Jr.'s movie, whereas Endgame was more Captain America's movie. I'm hoping that Doomsday can be a bit of a, we have to introduce Doom and all that. So hopefully it's a Doom movie. But I also hope that Secret Wars can be a bit of a Hulk movie. I feel like that he needs to be the forefront. We only have two original, well, we have Hawkeye too, but so three original, but two of the main original Avengers being Hulk and Thor, and I do think they need to be focused on and really need to be dived into, especially Hulk as a character in these movies, because he is probably the most powerful character besides Sentry and Thor himself, and we really need to showcase his power as opposed to him just getting his ass beat by Thanos. We were all hoping for a revenge match in Endgame, and we never got it. So hopefully in Doomsday or in Secret Wars, we can get something similar to that we were looking forward to. But anyways, guys, all that being said, that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. And always remember, guys, stay true, be odd.